right over your new friend, your old friend, Reverend Darren Fenger, and I'm grateful that you are here. Now, it's hot outside, isn't it getting hotter?
Yes.
We know what's coming. Well, I wish I could promise you that it won't get hot in here, but it's going to, because we have a fiery passion for life here. We are engaged, we have warm hearts, and we want to love on you as we learn to love on each other and ourselves. So welcome to Yuma Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome to everyone online. We feel you. There's that connection too, that love through oneness is felt. So thank you for being here. And it's a wonderful Sunday. We have a lot of wonderful things planned, great music, great prayers, great talk coming up by Reverend Janet. So let's stand up. Let's kick off our service with energy and love, and let's set the place ablaze. All right, with the voice.
What's your gospel gonna be? Living in bondage or free? What's your gospel gonna be? Gotta write a new one for me. Blaming those who let me down, or give them thanks for being around. Certain stories I have told, I'm letting go of the old. What's your gospel gonna be? Living in bondage or free? What's your gospel gonna be? Gotta write a new one for me. Blessing moments of my shame, and making dust out of my pain. Calming waters I have stored, walk where love has been poured. What's your gospel gonna be? Living in bondage or free? What's your gospel gonna be? Gotta write a new one for me. Love my neighbor as myself. Rush right in when you cry for help. Give my gifts and share my wealth. Am I willing to forgive myself? What's your gospel gonna be?
Yes. Here we go.
Living in bondage or free? What's your gospel gonna be? Gotta write a new one for me. What's your gospel gonna be? Living in bondage or free? What's your gospel gonna be? Gotta write a new one for me.
Isn't it beautiful now that we are writing our Gospels, we're writing the scripts of our lives right now, so let us be doing that with a gentle touch. And let's put in some wonderful plot twists, love, romance, all that good stuff. And to help us, guide us along on that, we share every Sunday a reading by Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of our movement. And he has a wonderful message in here. It's from one of our favorite books of his, This Thing Called You. When a problem confronts you, take it into the silence of your consciousness. Instead of thinking of the problem, think of the answer. God does not have problems. Therefore, the divine mind is the answer to every human problem. Spiritual principles never have problems. Problems are solved by bringing them under the control of spiritual principles. The problem is dissolved as the principle flows through to its correct answer. Mentally act and think as though the problem were only an argument, trying to convince you that you do not know the answer. It is your business to neutralize this argument, taking it apart thought by thought until there is nothing left of it, until you reach a gentle realization that dissipates it. The divine presence will guide you, guard you, and protect you. It will counsel you with wisdom. Its might and majesty will enter into your being. It will sustain and uphold you in everything you do. You will learn to talk with it. You will learn how to receive direct communication from it. Faith is the essence of this communication. Having recognized the divine presence as your guiding star of hope, assurance, and certainty, be equally certain that you recognize the universal law of mind as your faithful servant. This is the law, a principle that you are to use. Your faith in this law causes it to act upon that faith, to bring into your experience those things you accept and that you wish and that you affirm. All you need to do is be sure that you were never disconnected from this law. When you have complied with love, you can use the law without any sense of limitation or fear. And we say, this affirmation, letting go of all previous mistakes, I know that today I am free and unhindered. I feel the operation of divine love and universal law in my affairs. I know that everything I am doing is governed by love and controlled through spiritual law. I am conscious that I am one with all people and in divine love, in essence and in joy. And so it is.
So it is.
And for our Flames of Faith service, I welcome to the pulpit Carolyn.
Thank you. Well, it's been a while since I've been up here. All right. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that people of all faiths and lifestyles, all sentient beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And now as Ginger lights the healing candle, please say silently out loud or put in Facebook comments the names of those you would like to hold in the healing flame of God's eternal love. As we take a deep breath and open our hearts and minds, we know that God is everything. All is God, the creator of all that is, all that will be, all that ever was. I know that I am one with the Spirit, as are each of us. And I am grateful for that. And I know that for all the beings, the places, the people that we brought into the light today are also living with God as their center. And with this knowing and with this peace and with this spirit dwelling within us, we know that all is well. And we are grateful. We are grateful for this teaching, and we are grateful for each other and the connection that we have in this. We are grateful for our speaker today. We are grateful for our ministerial leader, and each and every one of us who participates and loves and is here. As we send these words into the mouth that always says yes, we do so with great gratitude, knowing that all is well, that God is within and without, and there is nowhere that it is not. And so it is.
And so it is.
Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument of peace. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument of peace. Where there is hatred, I will love. Where there is sadness, I will bring joy. Where there is darkness, I'll shine. I am an instrument of peace. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument of peace. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument of peace. Where there is hatred, I will love. Where there is sadness, I will bring joy. Where there is darkness, I'll shine. I am an instrument of peace. I am an instrument of peace.
Ooh, that's how it's done. Okay, we got a little bit hotter in here, but that's good. Passion for life, I love that. And someone who has a great passion for life is our speaker today, Reverend Janet. She is kind, she is sweet, she's one of my buddies from ministerial school, and I am delighted every time she comes over from San Diego. Again, when you come from San Diego to Yuma, when it's warm, that's love. Although I was in San Diego yesterday, and it was toasty. I was affirming coolness, so we are grateful and excited to welcome to the pulpit today for our inspirational talk, Reverend Janet Bradbury.
So, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. topic today, be a possibilitarian. So I think the best way I would describe it is in this little song that it suddenly came up with. Well, it's traditional. It's a traditional song. I'm free. I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free. I am unlimited. Right now. Right now. Sing with me. I am free. I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free. I am unlimited. Right now. Right now. Thank you. Have you ever decided that something was impossible and then watched somebody else do it? Have you talked yourself out of a dream that you had? I invite you to consider we are far more powerful than we think. We are capable of accomplishing an infinite number of things. With God, all things are possible. And knowing that we're one with God, anything is possible for us. I call this being a possibilitarian. So one part is letting go of the illusion that we're separate, powerless, alone, or incapable. Then recognizing that we're all interconnected with one another, with life itself, with something greater. We call it oneness with God, universal mind, or infinite human potential. Now I want to turn to the Winter Olympics. Were you watching the Winter Olympics?
Yes.
Oh, I really enjoyed it. And what I want to focus on today is the figure skaters, the American figure skaters. I think they were really outstanding people, and they inspired me tremendously. And also, I think they expanded our concept of what is it to be a winner. In life, being a winner is not always about winning a gold medal. Ilya Malinin was called the quad god. And this is something about something he did in skating. He experienced some challenges. Afterwards, he said, one loss doesn't erase what you've already won. And failure teaches more than success ever could. So I thought that was a tremendous realization that he had. Maybe that's the real Olympic moment for him. Not the medal ceremony, not the jumps, but that uncomfortable, transformative space where confidence cracks and something sturdier begins to grow underneath. He arrived one version of himself and left another. Still brilliant, still ambitious, but now carrying perspective, earned the hard way. That kind of evolution might end up being worth more than any podium achievement. Alyssa Liu made history in the Winter Olympics with her gold medal. Yet she did not act like someone who was chasing it. She smiled, displaying her possibilitarian mindset. She looked entirely unburdened by the pressures of competition. She said this, what I'd like to share about myself, my story, my art, and my creative process is that messing up doesn't take away from that. And I think we all need to know that messing up doesn't take away from the brilliance that we in fact are. She said, I just add skating into my life. But skating isn't my life. As you probably heard, after competing at the age of 16, she retired from skating for I think a couple of years. Then she came back and won a gold medal. Taking a step away from the sport allowed me to understand myself, because I never had the time or the space to figure out who I was. So taking a step away allowed me to see a more full picture. And I think it's good for us to take a step away sometimes from our life. She said, the journey, I love it, I love it. I find relaxation and joy when possible. I connect with everything, but I'm not attached to anything. Sounds like enlightenment to me. So it's really easy. What a perspective for a young woman to say, winning isn't all that, and neither is losing. It's just something that happens. It's the outcome. But what matters is the input and the journey. The journey matters. Our journey matters. She says, I take breaks, even now, and I think that's the way to do it. And also she said, I'm going to eat whatever I want and wear whatever I want from now on. I love that. I also love what I would call her raccoon-colored hair. Did you notice that? It looked to me like a raccoon's tail. She looked so happy. She looked like she was having fun and that it didn't matter. And I love that about her. And another skater, Amber Glenn, she said, I'm a fighter and I'm resilient. I'm going to keep speaking my truth. I will never stop using my voice for what I believe in. Very impressive. She said that. I told myself today, you're going to enjoy the step sequence. No matter what happens, no matter how the skate goes, you're going to enjoy this moment. I was very inspired listening to these young American Olympians, and there were many more. These are just the ones I decided to focus on. And then I looked at what are some other possibilities of what it means to be a possibilitarian. And I always resort to that great place of wisdom, Facebook. And I found some great biographies there. So here's something we can agree on. We affect each other. Our mood affects our family. Our courage affects our children. Our integrity affects our workplace. Our vote affects our community. So if we're clearly interconnected, what else might be possible? Yes, we live in practical reality. We have bodies to care for, bills to pay, cars to fix, pets to feed, families to love. Even within this very human life, there are infinite possibilities. Are we living as if it's true? Are we living as if we have infinite possibilities? The courage to break the mold. Now, these are the examples I found on Facebook. Some people who did what we might call impossible things. Consider Alexandria David Neal. She was born in 1868. At that time, women were expected to marry young, have children, run a household, and submit quietly to their husband's will and society's expectations. Alexandria was different. She did live in a privileged family who traveled a lot, and this gave her many images of possibilities. She studied Eastern philosophy when it was almost unheard of in Europe. To please her parents, she studied music and became an opera singer, and she actually achieved some success in that field. She waited to marry till she was 36, and she chose not to have children. And then, with her husband's support, she traveled to India and Tibet. Alone. She expected to stay 2 years. She stayed 14 years. She became a Buddhist practitioner. She disguised herself as a pilgrim and entered Lhasa. At that time, it was a forbidden city in Tibet. Foreigners were banned, and especially foreign women. But she dressed up like a pilgrim and walked right in. She met the 13th Dalai Lama. The current Dalai Lama is the 14th Dalai Lama.
Wow.
She later wrote books that introduced Tibetan Buddhism to the Western world. What belief did she refuse to accept? Her limitations. What if she had listened to society or her parents' expectations of her musical career? What forbidden city might exist in your life? What did you decide that you couldn't enter? I also was interested to read about Heinrich Harrer. He was born in 1912 and lived until 2006, a long life. He was an Austrian mountaineer. He got imprisoned in India in a prisoner of war camp. So actually he was in the German army. which, you know, that was the other side in World War II. But he escaped the prison camp and hiked over the Himalayas, because he was a mountaineer, of course, and went to Tibet. I thought these are interesting because both these stories are about a Dalai Lama. Well, he met the 14th Dalai Lama, so he entered Lhasa, the Forbidden City. And at that time, the Dalai Lama wasn't expected to know how to speak English and didn't necessarily know a lot about geography, but Heinrich Harrar said, I'd like to teach you English, and I'd like to teach you geography, and the Dalai Lama said, yeah, that'd be a good idea. So he became a tutor to the Dalai Lama for these things. Now, did speaking English and knowing about geography benefit the Dalai Lama? Tremendously, because he ended up with all the things that happened. He ended up, you know, having to leave his own country and travel all over the world and spoke English very well. So isn't that amazing? That's sort of that divine connection that he had with Heinrich Harrar, who decided he should teach him to speak English. Interesting. It's just interesting how people come together and do things that end up being for everyone's benefit and the world's benefit, because the Dalai Lama has given us a tremendous amount of wisdom in speaking English. And he also, when he came back to Austria, he wrote 7 years in Tibet. In 1971, here's another one, Surviving the Unthinkable. 17-year-old Julianne Kupka boarded a plane in Peru with her mother on Christmas Eve. The plane flew into a thunderstorm and lightning struck. The aircraft broke apart over the Amazon rainforest. Julianne fell 10,000 feet, still strapped to her seat, and she survived. She was the only survivor of this flight. Some believe that an updraft of wind may have slowed her fall, and the spiral descent might have cushioned her impact. The rainforest canopy might have softened her landing. So she survived. Now, survival wasn't her only challenge. She woke up in the Amazon jungle, 17 years old, injured, wearing a mini skirt, it was popular in the day, and only one sandal. Something happened to her other sandal. No rescue team, no phone, no map. She walked for 11 days through the rainforest before finding help. 11 days. She took one step at a time. It helped that her parents had actually taught her survival skills in the Amazon jungle. They were scientists working in the Amazon jungle. And then later, Werner Herzog, a famous German filmmaker, made a movie about this plane crash and how Julianne survived. It was called Wings of Hope. It came out in 1998 or 1999. What was his motivation? He was scheduled to have been on that flight. Wow. But at the last minute, his plans changed. When everything in your world crashes, what belief can carry you forward? There's more than one time in my life when I've had to hang on to something. Just get through, this will be all right. And eventually it was, or I wouldn't be here. Okay. Riding into the unknown. Elspeth Beard, 23 years old, heartbroken. She lives in England. She broke up with her boyfriend. Uncertain about her future, she made a decision that shocked everyone. She said, I'm going to ride around the world in my motorcycle. Alone. In 1982. No GPS, no cell phone, no internet. People told her she would die in a foreign country. Her mother threatened to disown her. Motorcycle magazines refused to cover her story. She left anyway, with a second-hand BMW and 2,600 pounds that she had saved from working in a pub. She rode across continents for 2.5 years. She crossed deserts, war zones, jungles. She crashed in Australia and spent 2 weeks in a hospital. She was robbed in Singapore. When she ran out of money in Sydney, She worked and lived in a garage for 7 months just to continue. Why? Because she believed this road was possible. So I want to ask you, are you waiting for permission to move forward in some part of your life? Is there someone who wants to disown you because of the plans you made? Who told you that you couldn't? Do you believe them? And I came across this one. British ex-paratrooper Carl Bushby decided he would walk around the world. He is on a, this is continuing. He's on a 27-year-old, 30,000-mile walking journey. Now, the pandemic put some limitations in his plans because he started in 1998. It's called the Goliath Expedition. He walked from South America, and his goal is to reach England. He is set to finish in this year sometime, later this year. He's crossed 25 countries, the Darien Gap and the Bering Strait. You know the Bering Strait's between Alaska and Russia? Without using mechanical transport. His main challenge was some of the visas he needed to obtain to enter certain countries. Sometimes he had to backtrack and go to a place to obtain the visa before entering the country. So he was a possibilitarian. And well, we're hoping that he arrives in England. That's yet to be determined. But I think he's in Croatia now, so it looks likely. So our beliefs shape our reality. And it inspires me to read about people who've done things I didn't think were possible. I didn't know people could, for example, fall out of a plane and survive. But if you look up on the internet, the last time I looked anyway, it mentioned 8 people who've actually fallen out of a plane and survived. The various different circumstances occurred. I wouldn't recommend it, but it just makes me think, my God, anything is possible. And with my God, anything is possible. Our beliefs shape our reality. If I believe I'm limited, I act small. If I believe the world is hostile, I might be more guarded. If I believe opportunity exists, I begin to see it. I begin to see a way through what I thought was a closed road to me. What if imagination isn't fantasy? What if it is just a rehearsal? Athletes visualize success before competition. Innovators imagine solutions before prototypes exist. Leaders articulate visions before policies change. So why couldn't we? What if you imagine your neighborhood thriving, your workplace collaborative, your government compassionate, your family harmonious? What if you didn't just hope for it, but practiced it in your mind? Some call this the mind of God expressing through us. You might call it possibility thinking, brainstorming, creative consciousness. Whatever the name, new possibilities emerge when we allow them. Policies can protect life. Technology can heal instead of harm. Communities can flourish. So there are an infinite number of possibilities of things that could arise due to our thinking and believing it and doing something. I mean, I think one of the things that I understand in Science of Mind is you treat and you move your feet. So you do have to do something in that direction. But first, someone just has to imagine it. Why not you? Be the change you wish to see in the world. Einstein said this, imagination is more important than knowledge. For knowledge is limited to all we now know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world and all there ever will be to know and understand. So Einstein used this phrase to highlight that while knowledge provides some of the tools, imagination allows us to connect them in a new way and create undiscovered concepts like Einstein did. Maybe you just need a new connection. There's another part of being a possibilitarian. You don't have to announce your dreams to people that might be committed to doubting you. You don't need approval from chronic critics. Use this new commandment. Mind your own business, stay in your own lane. And by that I mean guard your mental environment. Remember Terry Whitaker wrote a book called What You Think of Me Is None of My Business? It's a good concept. Fill your thoughts and images of the world that you want to live in. Include the good in all of your visions. Then act as if it were already happening. Like Emma Curtis Hopkins said, there's good in the universe and I got to have it. What would change if you lived tomorrow as if your highest vision were inevitable? How would you speak? How would you decide? What would you stop tolerating? The great philosopher Ernest Holmes said, everything is mind. What we consistently believe, we eventually create. Imagination is the bridge between belief and experience. It allows us to feel the world as it could be. And that vision quietly reshapes the world as it is. When we dissolve the illusion of separation, when we embody our oneness with life, with God, fear softens, scarcity loosens, struggle lightens, and a new freedom, one that has always been ours, begins to grow. The invitation is simple. And I brought to mind Buckminster Fuller. You know, he created the geodesic domes. He said, you never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the old one obsolete. Believe it works. Imagine it fully. Live as though it were true. In doing so, we don't just dream. We participate. We demonstrate. We become living evidence of possibility. Possibilitarians. So today I leave you with this. What if the only thing standing between you and your next breakthrough is a belief that you can release? A belief of limitation. Let's just let it go. What might happen if you choose to become a possibilitarian? So, I am free, I am unlimited. There is no chain that binds me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, sing with me. I am free, I am unlimited. There is no chain that binds me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. So join me in a closing treatment. I know there's only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life. And that is God the good, all-knowing, all-loving, all-powerful, and ever-present. I am one with God. I know you are each one with God. And I accept unlimited possibilities. I accept fulfilling my wildest dreams. I accept saying yes. I accept staying in my lane, in my reality, and creating a wonderful and beautiful life together in community. And I give thanks for this community, being together, knowing our oneness with God, and knowing our possibilities, unlimited. And I release this to divine natural law, and so it is. And so it is. Thank you.
I see it one. Oh, yeah, don't worry.
I already have it.
Everything beneath the sun breathes like a harmonium. Pure perfection has begun, shining like a midnight sun. Out of darkness I have sacrament, knowing God is my intent. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. God, I feel you all around. Oh, how you astound me with your grace. Rolling like a thunder cloud, let me live my love out loud, standing for mankind and proud, baptized in a holy shroud. Peace be still and know me now, God is in all I have found. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. God, I feel you all around. Oh, how you astound me with your grace. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. God, I feel you all around. Oh, how you astound me with your grace, everyone. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. God, I feel you all around. Show how you astound me with your grace, everyone. Out of darkness I have come, I see God in everyone.
I joke about taking them on the road, but maybe that's going to happen one of these days. The boys, give it up. We can have a boy group. It's possible. So now is our time when we get to share with this center. And it's really a beautiful time to remember that this is sharing in more ways than just air conditioning and lights, but allowing us to have not just a building, but this sanctuary, this safe space, not just we use out throughout the week, but different groups that maybe don't feel welcome other places, who are maybe told they couldn't meet somewhere else. And when they ask, can we have a place here? The answer is yes. So if the Women's Empowerment Group, to 12-step programs, to other religions, such as the Jewish congregation, they found us almost 50 years ago when they were kicked off the military base. They came here. So this is what you're supporting, a message of wholeness and love and joy. So good job, and thank you. And let's take our offerings, pull them to our heart, and let's say these powerful words together.
Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I
Circulation, circulation, like the water raining down to grow the flowers up through the ground. Circulation, circulation, the universe you give into will multiply and send it back to you. Circulation, circulation, like the water raining down to grow the flowers up through the ground. Circulation, circulation, the universe you give into will multiply and send it back to you. Circulation, circulation, like the water raining down to grow the flowers up through the ground. Circulation, circulation, the universe you give into will multiply and send it back to you.
And how wonderful for us to know that it really is that simple, that clear, as the promise that song makes. Nothing about forcing, begging, trying, worrying. It's allowing. What we give comes back to us, multiplied abundantly, and so it is. What a great service. And thank you for remembering for knowing what a difference you make, what a blessing you are when you make the decision to come here. And how grateful we are to see everyone in person online, in person every Sunday, and as well as online. And a special welcome to everyone here for the first time, or the second time, or the third time. It's wonderful to get to know new friends. So we have a lot going on today. Is it your birthday this month? Who's having a birthday? Yeah. Reverend Janet! Who else is having a birthday?
Put up your hand.
Well, hey, Lane too! Wonderful! Hey, Jen, is your birthday?
Yeah. Me.
Oh, yay! Okay, sure. And anybody else? People want, and more. Hey, look at more birthdays.
Right.
Excellent. We have a lot to celebrate, and we do have cake. I mean, would we miss an opportunity to eat after? It's ice cream cake. It's wonderful. It's brought to us by our dear Dorothy, and so it'll be out in the family room afterward. Have some cake, get to know each other, and let's celebrate these birthdays. And second Sunday lunch is next week. And we have a reservation for the patio at Lutz Casino, which is always a fun place. And the Lutz family, they're part of us, so that's always extra meaningful. So after the service next week, we'll just run down to Lutz. Let's all go and have lunch, and we'll do it on the back patio. And if it's nice, we'll be out there. If it's too warm, we'll head inside. That'll be great. And isn't that kid cute? Isn't it a shame he's not real? It's artificial intelligence. When I made that sign, somebody pointed out, Darren, he has 6 fingers. I'm like, oh dear. So anyway, computerized child with a very important message. We have posted our side sanctuary doors as emergency only. Unfortunately, people were going out those doors and they weren't always latching. So we had a couple times when we would come in and the doors would be unlocked. And then sometimes if we go out those doors, people forget to lock those doors. So the front door was unlocked. So if we can use those for emergency only, that would be wonderful. And we have some training coming up with Mr. Steve after the service for people who feel called to help with the wonderful resources of running the camera for our live streaming and our sound booth. 2 beautiful and such important areas of our service team to make this a beautiful Sunday service and then to share it with, we have 3,000 followers on Facebook. Everyone who watches, we have people who are friends, who are family, who we have not met yet because they've not been in this building. And that's how important this training is. So there's Mr. Steve. The one half of the boys will be doing training and see him afterward, and that'll be wonderful. We'll do that. And then we'll be following up, this is a little kind of save the date, on Sunday, April 5th, we're going to be training greeters. So if you're interested in being on the greeting team, or if you've been on the greeting team, interested in still doing it, we're going to kind of shake things up a bit, let me know, and we'll get you on that list. we're going on a field trip. We aren't going here, we're not going there, we're going to the center of the world on March 14th. Now, anyone who's ever been there knows that is a fascinating place. It's that little place of the temple just west of town, between town and the sand dunes. It's the creation of YCSL, this amazing man. He's a parachuter. He was an investment banker. He's French, but somehow American. And this is his creation. He came here once to talk about this, to talk about the center of the world. And I'd never seen this building packed like it was. So we are doing a field trip out there on Saturday, March 14th. It's going to be at 10 a.m. It may be kind of warm, so we'll want to bring water and all that good stuff. And we'll create a sign-up sheet because that way we can know who's coming, because they will also provide lunch for a little bit extra. So a wonderful full morning to go out there. They're going to have singing bowls and flutes for us. And I've put in a request for Mayor YCSL to come down and visit us. He is close to 100. And doesn't come out for the tourists too often, but I'm like, we've known each other for a long time, so hopefully he'll join us and we'll get that sign-up sheet going here soon. And then right after that, boy, Jesse Powers, the wonderful new thought musician, March 17th. Be sure to save that date. Let's pack the house. She is wonderful. I'm following her on Facebook, as I know some of you are, and she's winding her way across the country, and everyone's loving her, and I can't wait to get her March 17th for a wonderful night of uplifting music. And we are going to be celebrating the spring equinox. It's a day early, but this will be on March 19th during Thursday meditation. So instead of having just that kind of short meditation in the building, we're going to be taking it outside again. And our beautiful Shy Soul, who is a wonderful healer of so many different energies and modalities, and a musician, she will be leading that as she did for our solstice event. So that will be outside in the parking lot. And under the stars, it should be a beautiful evening, again on March 19th at 6:30. And all this will be on Facebook. And our Michelle, our dear Michelle, I think she's slicing cake, our kitchen goddess, is challenging you to create, to cook up, to manifest award-winning chili. This is the second time she's done this for the center. Last time was a blast. Everybody had so much fun. And it was, most importantly, delicious. It's wonderful. And so I just wanted to put that out there. There will be Sunday, March 29th, our chili cook-off. So lots of stuff going on. And again, we're blessed every time you show up, every time you say yes, and come here and we create this family. So thank you to everyone who's been watching online. Thank you to everyone being here. And again, a reminder about the training. And then we also have the people who had signed up for going up to the concert to Palm Springs. That's also with Steve, so see him. I think that's all taken care of, but just so he knows if you have any questions, if you're signed up. And of course, remember, ice cream and cake out in the front room. So let's end our celebration in song, in affirmation, by singing our peace song. And if you're here for the first time, we make a big circle, we hold hands if you would like, and the words are up on the screen. The stretch. We adjust well. Big, beautiful stretch. For migrating. And we are late. I love it.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, united all are we. Let us walk with
happening in my life right now.
Something wonderful is happening in my life right now.
I believe it.
I believe it.
I know it.
I